Well, joining us now from San Francisco via Skype is political commentator Mark Mason. Many thanks for joining us here on Press TV, Mr. Mason. Now, first of all, the voting of the Palestinians, of upgrading Palestine's status to a member observer state. What does that mean for those countries like U.S. and Canada, as well as for the Israeli regime, as they stood isolated during this vote?
Well, indeed, today is an historic moment as the Palestinians gain non-member state status in the United Nations. The vote has, from my perspective as an American here living in the United States, as both historic for Palestinian rights. The Palestinian people have been abused and viciously attacked only days ago, illegally and brutally and viciously attacked, deadly attacks by the Israeli government only days ago. And on the heels of this, we have this momentous occasion of the UN admitting the Palestinian people as non-member state status. That's going to mean a lot, especially in terms of their access possibly to the ICC, the International Criminal Court. Talk more about that if you wish. But there's another momentous occasion that relates directly to your question that has to do with the American empire. The U.S. took over for global status since World War II with the collapse of the British Empire. Subsequent to World War II, the U.S. virtually controlled with an iron grip the UN for the first 20-25 years. We've seen the erosion of U.S. Control of the UN during the past 20 years, and today is another big crack and crumbling of the control that the U.S. has had in the past over UN policies.
Right, but Mr. Mason, how do you respond to those skeptics that say that the Israeli regime has gone on with its impunity in the past? For example, looking at the West Bank barrier, which has been deemed illegal by the ICC, and yet it carries on with impunity thanks to the backing of players like the United States of America, and that a statehood recognition is not going to help much, considering Israel has shown complete disregard for international law and regulation in the past, and it will do so in the future thanks to its support from the United States.
Well, the U.S. does not want peace in the Middle East. It does not want justice for the Palestinian people. The Palestinian people approached the International Criminal Court in 2009. The prosecutors at that time considered the appeal by the Palestinian people and rejected their appeal because the ICC at that time determined that because the Palestinian people did not have state status, that the ICC could not consider complaints from the Palestinian people. So now here we have this historic moment where surely in short span of time here we can expect the Palestinian people again to appeal to the International Criminal Court now with this new non-member state status in the United Nations, appeal to the ICC to investigate a long list of Israeli state crimes that go back decades and decades and go back only days ago in terms of violations of UN Security Council resolutions, violations of international treaties, violations of the Geneva Convention. This is indeed a historic moment. They may be able to put pressure on the ICC to appeal to the criminal court to finally, at long last, address the vicious, brutal, and illegal war crimes of the Israeli state as they occupy the territories illegally invaded and occupied since 1967.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there. That was political commentator Mark Mason. They're joining us via Skype from San Francisco. Mr. Mason, thank you very much for joining us here on Press TV.